Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I need to put on some music or something. Like I feel exposed. Let me get situated. Hey YouTube family, what's up? I never know how to start my videos. I haven't been on here in forever, and I feel like every time I get on here I have an excuse as to why I haven't been on here. So we're just not gonna make excuses, and we're just gonna enjoy this video. So as you guys read by the title, I'm gonna be telling you guys about the time that I tried to fight my boyfriend at school. And just as a disclaimer, I want to let you guys know that I'm not a violent person. I am not abusive in any way. Like I'm a very loving person. You know, I'm all for keeping the peace. But you guys know, when you're with that one person, they just, you know, they just push your buttons in a whole nother way that other, like, people just can't do. Your parents and your significant other, they push your buttons in a whole nother way that nobody else on this earth can push your buttons. So that's just a disclaimer. I don't want anybody thinking I'm abusive or I'm anything, you know, I'm confrontational or anything like that. Once I tell you guys the story leading up to why I almost had to fight this young man at school, some of you might understand. And I'm not trying to justify, you know, fighting. Don't fight your man. That's not the answer. If you gotta fight him, leave him, because he obviously something ain't right, and just get out of the situation. Don't entertain the foolishness. I'm gonna give you guys some background information on me and my boyfriend at the time. So it was senior year in high school. You guys know, you know, high school love. It's just so beautiful and innocent. Your heart is just free. You're just happy. Nothing can go wrong. All you see is butterflies and rainbows. You know, you guys know how that high school love is. I'm saying that like I'm like 30. I've been out of high school in 1 year, but I've learned a lot in this 1 year. So basically, me and this dude, we had been together for like a year, like I don't know, probably like a year and some months, but we had been together for a little while. You know, in high school, a year, that's like a long time. Like, y'all the real deal. Y'all finna get married. It's lit. So we had been together for like a year, and we had been doing good. Like, you know, any couple, we had our little arguments or whatever, but overall we were really good. Like, you know, we always hung out on the weekends. His family knew my family. We went to prom. We was the real deal. We were together like all the time, like every weekend after school. We had the same group of friends, so even if it wasn't just us two, we would always be with our friends. And you know, we really liked each other. Like, y'all know how it go with your little high school sweethearts. You be thinking y'all finna be forever. Like, you be trying to build. So, you know, I thought we was trying to build. He obviously wasn't trying to build. But, you know, me being the high school child, love, blinded, struck, whatever you want to call it, teenage girl that I am / was, I couldn't see any wrong. Okay, so now that y'all got a little background story on the relationship, and y'all see this wasn't just no like 2 months out the window type of thing. We really knew each other. We really liked each other. We was for real. We was for real. So basically, you know, when you've been with somebody for a while, you kind of get a feel to how they act, to how they react to stuff. You know, you just get a feel for what's normal, what's not normal, when something's wrong with them, when everything's good and when it's not. So for like 2 weeks prior to this incident, he had just been acting like weird, and I kept asking him, what are we going to call him? Ooh, y'all, what we gonna call him? If you know me, or yeah, if you know me at all, you're gonna know who this is. But I mean, he's not gonna care. We really don't have any beef. Like, you know, we're on good terms. The situation is over. We're like, it's over. I don't care. So if he watches this, he gonna know I'm talking about him. Anybody who knows me, who watches this, is gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. But it is what it is. If you didn't want to be on video, you shouldn't have tried to play me. So yeah, for like 2 weeks, he had just been acting really distant, really strange, and I kept asking him like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you acting like this? Like, did I do something? And he kept saying,
no, baby girl, you ain't do nothing. I just going through a lot, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot going on. know, I gotta study for this test, you know, my mom was like,
you know, he regular stuff. So I was just like, you know, whatever. He's saying nothing wrong, you know, probably ain't nothing wrong. You know, I'm all in love with him, so I'm just like, you know, he can't be doing nothing on the side. He can't be. Look at this. What he gonna do? Who he gonna do it with? So in my mind, I'm just like, you know, he probably just got a lot on his mind. I'ma chill with the girls for a little bit while he get his stuff together. But like as time went on, like he just kept acting weird, and I kept asking him like, what is wrong with you? Did I do something to you? He kept saying, ain't nothing wrong, you know, I'm just chilling or whatever. So I didn't know what to do, because I didn't want to be with someone who's acting all nonchalant towards me, but at the same time we had been together for like a year and 2 months, which at the time felt like forever. You know, I didn't want to just break him off and just forget about him. So I'm trying to work through it, and he not cooperating and telling me what's going on. So eventually, after like 2 weeks of him acting like something was going on with, something was wrong with him, like he was having some internal issues, I finally was just like,
you know what, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
I don't know if I needed to talk to his homeboys. I didn't need to know if I needed to call his mama. I didn't know what was going on, but all I knew was this young man was gonna let me know what was up. So we're on the phone one night, and he's just being like really dry, and like I'm trying to talk to him, and he's just like one word responding to me, and I'm just like, you know what, you good, boo boo, you good. So I'm like,
you know what, I'm gonna talk to you another day, because I ain't got time for all of this extraness you bring into my life. I ain't got time for it.
and he was like, all right, man. He said whatever he said, and we got off the phone, and I started plotting. I was like, okay, he not telling me what's wrong, so we gonna have to figure out what is going on myself. And by now, I'm not dumb. Like, even though I was blindly in love, I wasn't dumb. So I had a feeling that something was going on that wasn't supposed to be going on. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, who could he possibly be messing with? Because y'all, everybody knew we were together. Like, we did everything together. We posted pictures together. We were at school together. We were outside school together. Like, everybody knew we were together. So I'm just trying to think, like, who could he be messing with? Like, what could be going on? I'm thinking, like, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna get this out of him? Or how am I gonna figure out what the problem was? Because nowadays, I really don't have the tolerance. I would just be like, okay, boy, I don't know what's wrong with you, but it gotta go. But back then, you know, I had a heart, and I was young, and I really wanted to make it work. So y'all, I go to sleep that night, and y'all gonna think I'm lying, but I kid you not, I don't know what happened in my dream, but God sent me a sign. I can't remember the dream exactly, but somewhere in that dream, something said, Jada, this is the phone. Go through the phone. I don't know if an angel came down and told me. I don't know if I was actually physically doing it in the dream, but like something just told me, you need to go through the phone. The answers are in the phone. I wake up that morning and I'm just like, today is the day I figure out what the source of this problem is. So, you know, I wake up, get dressed for school, you know, I'm kind of like talking to myself like, okay, so what you, like, I don't know how we gonna approach the situation. I didn't know how I was gonna get it from him. I didn't know what I was gonna do. But all I knew was by the end of that day, before school got out at 3 p.m., I needed to see what was in his phone. So, I already know some people gonna be commenting,
you don't need to be going through his phone. Whatever is in his free time.
Look, my thing is, I don't go through somebody's phone unless they make me feel like I need to go through their phone, or they're hiding something that has me feeling like I need to go through their phone. But anyway, so you know, I get ready for school. I'm trying to play it cool. I'm trying not to stress myself out. You know, I'm trying not to think about it. But in the back of my head, it's like a demon on this shoulder and an angel on this shoulder. And the demon is like,
you need to take his phone. You need to see what's going on and get to the bottom of it.
And the angel on this shoulder is like,
no, Jada, you need to trust him. He's not lying to you. Whatever happens in the dark is gonna come to light. You need to just play it cool.
So the whole ride to school, I'm listening to the devil and listening to the angel. I'm listening to both sides of the story. And eventually, as you can tell by the title of this story, the devil won. So I get out the car, you know, I'm playing it cool. I got my book bag. I see my friends. I'm like, hey girl. And they like, hey girl. And I see some more of my friends and I'm like, what's up? And they like, what's up? So eventually I see him. He's standing with like all his homeboys and some of our friends on this little wall that we have at the school. So I go up to him and I'm playing it cool. I'm like, hey. Oh, did we think of a name for him? I don't think we did. Oh, we're gonna call him Brandon. Hey Brandon, I know you watching this, hey. But yeah, we're gonna call him Brandon. So I walk up to Brandon and I'm like, I already know I'm gonna slip up and say his name. I walk up to him and I'm like, hey boo, what's up? I give him a hug, whatever. He hugged me. We talking or whatever. And then eventually, you know, we gotta get to class. You know, we still at school. We gotta get the ball rolling. So I'm somehow slid it into the conversation. Now I don't know how, but I was basically just like, can I see your phone for this period? And y'all already know how dudes act when you ask them about something that they know they did or they know they doing wrong. They get that look on their face like they just saw a ghost, like they a deer in the headlights. All their comprehension skills just all of a sudden went out the window. So he's looking at me like, okay. And I was like, can I see your phone for this block? You know, it's just one block, it's just an hour. You can take mine, you know, if you need to talk to anybody, you can use it. You have the passcode, your fingerprint is in it, you know. We can just switch for a block. So he's, you know, he's hesitating like, you know. So now I'm just standing there like, whether you say yes or no, this is obviously not going to end well for you. So eventually he reluctantly, slow as anything, slides the phone out his pocket. And I'm thinking he just gonna hand it to me. I'm gonna give him mine and we're gonna go our separate ways. No. He slid it out his pocket and then he was like, come on. Where we going? I didn't ask you to walk me to class. I asked to see your phone. So he has his phone in his hand the whole time he's walking me to class. Like, he does not look away from it. He's on it just scrolling, like scrolling up and down, swipe, delete, change your app, swipe, delete. And by now I'm just like, okay, this obviously is not gonna end well. And I'm just looking at him and I'm asking him like, can you give me the phone? Like, why are you, like, what are you doing? Like, why can't you just give me the phone? I'm trying to give you my phone. And you know how they are, I just gotta reply to this, I just gotta text it. Yeah, boy, whatever. So eventually we get to my class and he slowly, and I'm just like, boy, give me this phone. So I walk in class and I sit down on my seat and I prayed. Y'all, I had to pray because I already knew whatever I found in that phone, it was gonna change our relationship forever, just because of the way he acted up until the whole time we got to class. Maybe if you would have played it cool, maybe I would have just let you keep the phone, Brandon. Did you ever think about that? Baby, if you would have just been like, yeah, baby girl, here the phone, do what you do, maybe I wouldn't have acted like this. So I get into class and I have my grande caramel mocha frappuccino and I have my book bag and I have mine and his phone in both hands. He didn't even take mine. That's how you knew he was wrong, because he didn't even try to go through mine. He was too worried about trying to give me his. So I get his phone and I sit it on the desk in front of me and I pray. And I sat next to this boy named Rashad, and Rashad was like why you, like, what you doing, what you praying? And I was like, I got his phone and I feel like it's something in it. And he was just like, okay, well, you know, he was kind of hyping me up, but he was trying to calm me down at the same time. So I said my prayers. Dear Jesus, wherever I find this phone, please just let it be enough of me not to have to kill this young man. Like, you know, I don't want to kill him, like, you know, maybe argument worthy, but I don't want to kill him. At least before I went through the phone, I didn't want to kill him. So I have the phone sitting on the desk and I think my fingerprint was in it, or I had the passcode. I think, yeah, my fingerprint was in it. So I get my fingerprint, wait for it to unlock. So obviously the first place any girl is gonna go when they get their man phone is they're gonna go to the messages, they're gonna go to Twitter, they're gonna go to Instagram. So I was scared. I didn't know what I was gonna find in this phone. So I started off, I went to Instagram. You know, that's like the lowest app. You probably not gonna find much in there. I didn't find anything. I was like, whew, all right, 1 out of 3. So then I go to Twitter and I go to his DMs. Obviously, I didn't see anything in there. So I was like, whew, okay, all right, okay. He might have been swiping and deleting, but you know, I ain't see nothing in it. So we done made it through 2 out of 3, and his life is not on the line at this point. I'm like, okay, I ain't found nothing. We just gonna see. We gonna see. So I go to the messages, and you know, I kind of just did a quick scroll, looked at the name. I knew most of the names in there, and then you know, obviously, you go to the best friends messages to see what's really going on, to see what the real talk is. You go to the group chat and you go to the best friends messages. So I go to him and his best friends messages, and it's like screenshots in there of them talking about girls being fine, and you know, stuff that really as a girlfriend you wouldn't want to see. But it's like, it's not relationship ending. It's like, okay, like, you don't need to be saying that about her, but I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'm not gonna kill you for it, because me and my best friend, we be sending pictures back to, like, oh girl, he cute, you know, we be sending stuff back and forth like that. So I was like, you know, it's whatever. But then I kept scrolling up, and his friend, this is where stuff went bad, y'all. His friend was like, what you doing? And then he gonna reply, let me think of a name for this girl. What are we gonna call her? We gonna call her Lola. I don't know why I thought of Lola, but we gonna call her Lola. So his friend was like, what you doing? And then Brandon was like, trying to get with Lola.
Trying to do what with who? Because last time I checked, my name was Jada. My name is not Lola or anything close to it.
I go to his pictures, and there's screenshots of him and the girl's conversation, and him and the girl talking about meeting up, and like she was like they like talking about meeting up, you know, stuff like, you're obviously like, you're like, unless you're just dumb, you're gonna see like they're trying to make you do what it do. So I'm like,
Okay. Okay. He wants to play games.
so after I see like he's talking about trying to get with Lola, I go back to his messages, and I'm like, okay, so you trying to get with Lola? Like, what's going on? Where her number at? Because I'm not seeing it in here, y'all. A message comes through, and who is it from? It's from Lola. It's from Lola herself. And I can't remember what this message was, because by now my blood is just boiling, because I'm thinking everything is all good. We on the road to success. Like, I think prom was like the week before. We had just went to prom, like taking pictures. Everything was all good. I'm thinking everything's all good. Like the week before that, I had set up like a whole spot for him in his room. I had bought him candles, different lotions, different body oils, and I was rubbing them all up on him, thinking that we finna be good. And obviously, we weren't good. So yeah, a message comes through, and obviously, I'm not just gonna sit there and look at the message. I'm gonna reply. I said, who is this? Y'all, I got a nose ring. I feel like it's been out this whole video. If it has, just know it's a nose ring. But anyway, I was like, who is this? And she said, who is this? She said, who is this? And I replied, and I said, this is Jada. Who is this? And she didn't reply anymore. So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, y'all, by this point, I'm livid. Like I'm ready to like kill this young man, because like I really thought that everything was good. I thought he just had some little extra. I thought he had like a test he was stressing about. This ain't no test. You stressing about a whole nother girl while you are in a relationship with all of this. All of my civilized home training, everything proper that I knew how to act just went out the window. So as soon as that message came back through, I picked up my bag. I left my frat Frappuccino, y'all. I left my Starbucks Frappuccino. Y'all know how much them Frappuccinos cost? They're not free. I left it untouched, sitting on the desk. That's how you know I was mad. So I got my bag and I got both of our phones and I stormed out the classroom. The teacher was standing up teaching and everything. I walked in front of him. I walked in front of the projector. I didn't care because either I was finna find him or I was finna find her. I didn't know who I was gonna find first, but I was gonna find one of them and get to the bottom of it. So I walk out the class and let me tell y'all, I go to a high school with like 4,000 kids. So it's not like 2 hallways where I can just look up and see what classroom he's in. No, it's like there's a lot of kids in the school. There's a lot of sides to the school. There's a lot of classrooms. There's just a lot going on. But I'm determined. So I'm on a mission and I know that I'm either gonna find him or I'm gonna find her. And obviously I couldn't just text him and be like, where are you? Because I had his phone. So I'm texting Lola and I'm like, where is Brandon? Where is Brandon? And she's like, I don't know where Brandon is. It's not what it looks like. It's not. And I'm like, girl, shut up. Where is Brandon? I'm not thinking about you right now. I told her, I was like, I'm not gonna fight you right now. You just need to tell me. You just need to tell me where Brandon is. And she kept saying, I don't know where he is. So I'm going up and down, y'all. I'm going up and down every single hallway, looking in everybody's classroom. I don't care if I know the teacher. I don't care anything. I'm looking in windows. Where is Brandon? I'm opening doors. Where is Brandon? Where is Brandon? I was really causing a scene and really acting a fool. This is terrible and I'm sad this had to happen. So yeah, I'm seeing my friends in the hallway and they're like, hey Jada, and I'm just like, where's Brandon? And then they're like, I don't know, and I'm just walking away like I'm on a mission, y'all. I'm upstairs, I'm downstairs, I'm in back hallways, I'm in the boys' bathroom. Like I promise, like I didn't care about the consequences. I walked outside, I walked around the football field, I was all in places I was not supposed to be, trying to find this young man. In the back of my mind, I was looking for her too, because if I saw her, she really could have got her once too. But you know, I'm trying not to be that girl who go after the side girl when you know, you need to check your man. Like if your man is doing something he's not supposed to be doing, that's who you need to talk to, that's who you need to go after. I was getting mad because I was so mad at what I had seen, and I was so mad that I could not find him that I just sat down and I started crying. I was overwhelmed and I was just like,
oh my God, I thought he loved me. How he gonna do this to me?
and I'm just sitting here crying, and I got his phone in my hand, so I'm texting all his homeboys, I'm texting his all his group chats, I'm texting everybody in that phone. I didn't care if I knew them or not. I was texting, where's Brandon? Where's Brandon? One of y'all know where Brandon is. I even picked up the phone and called a couple of his homeboys. I was like, what? Like, I need to know where he is. And they were like, Jada, just calm down. No, I'm not gonna calm down, because do you know what I just saw in this young man's phone? His people that I'm texting are calling his phone like, Jada, like you need to chill, like you need to. I'm not gonna chill. Oh, there is not a chill bone in my body at this moment. And like mentally, like y'all, I was shaking, like I was ready to kill this young man. He really had me thinking we were out here good while he talking to another girl that goes to the same school as me. So eventually a teacher comes and she's like, you can't sit back here. Excuse me. You can't sit back here. You have to be in the class. And I'm just looking at her like, girl, don't you see that my heart is broken? Like, you just gonna sit up here and tell me to go back to class? But I was just like, yes ma'am, and I got up. And obviously I wasn't gonna go back to class. I just got back on my mission. So eventually I'm pacing up and down, still looking in classrooms, opening doors, trying to find this young man. And I see one of his homeboys and he's like, what's up, Jada? And I'm like, where's Brandon? And he was like, I don't know, like I don't know what's wrong. And I was like, well, if you see Brandon, you need to let me know, or you need to tell him to find me or contact me some type of way. So I'm on the other side of the school. I done walked all the way to the freshman side. I knew he wasn't on the freshman side, but I couldn't find him and I was just mad. So I wasn't being reasonable. Eventually, the friend I saw in the hallway walking over there, he texted me from his phone and he was like, what's up, this Brandon? I was like, where are you? He said, what he said? He was like, I'm such and such and such and such. I said, you need to meet me now. So he was like, whatever, trying to play it cool, knowing he was finna get back handed and slapped and killed in the middle of this school hallway. Like, I couldn't stand still. I was so mad. So I like stood in the area where I told him I was. And as soon as I saw him walking up, I don't know what happened. It's like I lost it. I didn't care about the consequences. I didn't care what happened. I gave his phone to him and I pushed him and I was like, you sitting up here talking to these little girls, you got me looking dumb out here. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you. Saying all of that, doing all of this extraness, and he really not saying nothing. He just like, man, watch out. He trying to like push me off, and I'm like, no. I'm all in his face, and I'm like, no, you need to listen to me because you got me. I ain't one of these little girls out here. I am your girlfriend. You're not finna treat me like I'm somebody. And It's like, no, like I'm finna. I'm not playing with you. And he just like, he was kind of like, you know, just pushing me back and brushing me off, which was making me madder. Like it was making me even madder. So, you know, I kept talking to him and I kept going off on him. I was trying to be quiet at first. I was trying like to not to let everybody know. Then he pulled every man's famous line.
Man, I ain't even do nothing. Believe what you want.
Like, I just went into straight angry black woman mode. Eventually, people started coming in the hallway, and teachers started coming in the hallway and seeing what was going on. And like, I was cool with the administration, and he was like, you know, we were both like kind of known, kind of liked people. So eventually, they come out there and they like, y'all need to split up, whatever. So they take me down the stairs, and I'm still yelling while I'm going down the stairs, turning around like, all you do is lie. And two of my friends, I guess, had seen the commotion, so they came up to me and they were like, you okay? And I was like, don't touch me, don't walk with me, leave me alone. I walk back. No, y'all, when I left the classroom, I didn't take anything. I didn't even take my bag. It just reminded me, because I had to go back to the classroom and get my stuff. And by now, obviously, I'm crying. You know, I done got my little heart broke. I thought we was gonna get married, and now we can't get married no more because he out here cheating on me. I go back and get my stuff, and everybody like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And class hadn't ended yet, but like, I wasn't talking to nobody. The teacher asked me was I okay, and I was like, yeah. And I got my stuff and I left. And I don't remember how, but basically we ended up meeting like outside the building. We met outside and we were talking or whatever, and I was just, you know, how you gonna do this to me? You said you love me. And y'all, Lola, like, she had a reputation for like just being like, we go back in the building, and I wasn't going to class, so I went to like one of the counselors. I was cool. I went to her office, and she excused me for that next block, and I called my mama and I told her everything that happened, and she told me that I could come home. So I stayed in there for a block, and I called my best friend and I told her what happened. So she skipped class and she came in there and she sat with me. And I was just telling her everything what happened, and I was just crying. And you know, I was just so heartbroken because I thought we was really gonna get married, and he was out here talking to these little heifer girls. We tried to make it work, but you know how high school relationships are. Stuff just happens. You know, once somebody is unfaithful, it kind of just makes stuff hard to kind of just get back to how it was. So we both went to school and stuff. We ended up breaking up, but like, we're not on bad terms or anything anymore. Like, you know, it is what it is. We've talked a couple times. Like, you know, it's all good. Like, it is what it is. But yes, that is the story of the time I almost had to fight my boyfriend at school. If you liked it, then thumbs up. Comment below if you ever had to act crazy on your man or girl or pull up on them. Let me know that I'm not alone or the only one who has felt this embarrassment. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.